And now it's time for my last word on the seemingly limitless U.S. support for Israel in this age of Trump and politicians here who, despite it all, have the chutzpah to ask for more. This week, we all witnessed Trump's clearly coordinated embrace of Israel's Spielberg-worthy intelligence trove on Iran and the immediacy with which former CIA chief Mike Pompeo vouched for the data stolen from the heart of Tehran. With Trump, Pompeo, and National Security Advisor John Bolton so closely aligned with Benjamin Netanyahu in their shared contempt for the Iran nuclear deal, one wouldn't expect ministers from Netanyahu's own party to do anything to deflect attention from the president's anticipated May 12th decision to walk away from that deal. One would think in the run-up to this critical decision and the historic relocation of the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem that politicians here would bow their heads in gratitude at the bilateral alliance both sides hail as better now than ever before. But no. While Netanyahu was home preparing for his presentation, a member of his security cabinet was at a New York conference dredging up one of the darkest chapters in U.S.-Israel history with his request to allow Jonathan Pollard, the notorious spy now on parole, to attend embassy dedication festivities in the Israeli capital. Here's a direct quote from Israel Katz, the audacious minister who ironically holds the portfolio for intelligence services. To make the celebration even happier, I'd like to ask our great friend President Trump to give the Israeli public one more present and to allow Jonathan Pollard to come to Israel and celebrate with us in Jerusalem. Seriously? At a time when the U.S. and Israeli intelligence communities need to fortify cooperation against a spectrum of Iranian threats, does he really expect American diplomats and invited VIPs to rub shoulders at such a significant event with this American ex-con who betrayed his country by selling secrets to Israel? 30-plus years cannot erase this blight on bilateral ties that began when Israel put Pollard in play and continued over more than a decade of insulting denials until Israel finally came clean. At a time when Trump and the Republican-led Congress are contemplating huge hikes in already unprecedented levels of aid to Israel, Katz and others too callous to have internalized the ugly lessons from the Pollard affair should be advised. Don't you dare bite the hand that feeds. And that's my last word.